From the center of the universe, Toronto, Ontario, Canada, this is the SDM Show with your host, Rob Cairns. The SDM Show focuses on business, life, productivity, digital marketing, WordPress, and more. Sit back, relax, grab your favorite drink, and enjoy the show. Here is Rob.
Hey, everybody, Rob Cairns here. In today's podcast, I have my good friend and friend of the show, Bridget Willard, joining me to talk about her Launch with Words product. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the conversation we had about this game-changing product. This podcast is brought to you by Stunning Digital Marketing, the digital marketing agency for all your business needs. We are also your WordPress security experts, having over 14 years of experience locking down, backing up, and protecting WordPress websites. Go to stunningdigitalmarketing.com for more info, or stunningdigitalmarketing.info for links to everywhere we can be found on the web. Hey everybody, Rob Cairns here. And today my guest is friend of the show, Bridget Willard. How are you today, Bridget?
I'm doing great, Rob. Thanks for having me.
This is, I think, your third appearance on the SDM show, something like that.
It's
well-known
been a
author
while.
of the WordPress space with Warren, well-known friend, and I'm glad to have you. So,
Thanks for having me.
yeah. Now, hopefully I'll get through a podcast interview today without the voice dying. I'm in the middle of a bit of an asthma flare, so it's like, it's that time of year. So what can I say? Toronto has been hot and sticky and humid at the time of this record, so it's been fun. So, so today I thought we wanted to talk about your Launch with Words product and some cool little things going on there. And you're working on a Launch with Words pack for web designers and web developers, which I find really interesting because being in the web space and the marketing space, what I can tell you is most web designers and web developers have no clue how to market their websites. And they think they're still subscribed to that old theory. If I launch it, people will come, right? So how do you feel about it?
That's exactly right. I mean, writing code is a language, right? Code is poetry, is WordPress. And that's great. And that's fantastic. But there's two things. Number one, you're too close to your product. And number two, you're not a marketer. You're not a writer. You're not a copywriter. Okay. So like maybe you're a marketer on this level of building websites, but you're not a copywriter. And there's this kind of sense that, well, it doesn't matter, right? So I tried this. I tried ChatGPT. I have articles on there. I have case studies, maybe. I have some little updatey things for my plugin, and that I have a blog and it's not working. Well, you can't blame the blog that doesn't have content that's pre-sales content, right? Yep. Your content on your website should help people make the decision to buy from you. So 70% of that decision making is made before they even talk to a salesperson, right? So your whole website is your 24/7 salesperson. Mm-hmm. And if you're not reaching your audience, then it's not going to work, right? So I came up with the idea of Launch with Words a couple of years ago, had Ronald Huerca from MediaRon build it for me. There's actually two plugins. One is proprietary that's on my site, and one is the importer plugin that you get from WordPress.org. There's a free pack that has blog prompts, so it helps you write as a business owner. But the real meat of it is the premium packs, so that the web developer can buy this pack for roofers, build the site, and launch it with words on it, right? Because a lot of small business owners don't understand that the web build doesn't include content.
Yeah. And the other thing small business owners always drag on a brand new website is that content. Like,
right, because they're not writers either.
yeah, and they still got to run their business, and they're trying to cut corners and save money. And what they haven't realized is if you're not good at doing something or you don't have time to do it, you should get somebody else or a tool to do it for you. Like
Exactly. Exactly.
And then maybe they should take some marketing courses. You know, I had lucky back in the day, I took courses from a mutual colleague and friend, Mr. Paul Toby, who we both know quite well.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Paul's one of my mentors in this game, and I think I've talked about that. And as a result, I know Adrian of Groundhog fame quite well, and a whole bit about sales funnels. But Paul teaches so much more than that. He teaches a mindset, and I think most small business owners don't have the mindset. Most small business owners don't even have a marketing budget, and they forget their website is just a marketing vehicle.
Oh, that is the hill I will die on. Like, that is so true. It really frustrates me. I love helping small business owners, but they are my most frustrating student because they're dubious. They don't want to spend their personal money. They say they don't have budget, but I'm like, you don't have budget or you don't have money. So there's, there's that cliche is true. It takes money to make money. And if you're not going to give your blood, sweat, and tears, if you're not going to, DNA in your business, then you need to have money. So a lot of people just, and I saw all these WordPress developers really struggling with the content, really struggling with their business. And I read this book called The 7-Figure Agency by Josh Nelson, which is behind me. And it's all about niche marketing or niche marketing, niche, whatever, potato, right? So here's the thing. If you get, like, I wanted them to be able to have something that would inform the page content, but also keep the website publishing like once a month, because the client goes, oh, the website doesn't work. Well, they're not using it. It's not just build it and it's done. That's not how it works. And they don't understand that. And the web developer doesn't understand that or doesn't care, because they're like one and done. But I'm like, why don't you make this an offering where you have the content and then you bill it under SEO? That's what we did at Thought House. We had a year contract. We did all the maintenance, all of the social media and content on the website was billed under SEO hours. And then you can upcharge it because it's only $500 for 12 articles that are around $750 each that a human wrote. Either me or Warren wrote all of those articles. I researched them, their pre-sales content. And so that was like, okay, I don't understand why they don't understand it. So Rob, I went to be a teacher. Okay.
Yeah.
And I was really good at math and science. I still am. I've thought about going back to school to get a master's in math to teach algebra, but I'm like, oh man, I ain't got no money for that. Like, and I'm 50, I don't care anymore. But
I get that. I get that. My best friend's a retired teacher and turned 65 a week Tuesday. So there you go. And then interesting enough, and you don't know this, is my mother was a teacher's graduate at McDonald College at McGill University, and then got into real estate, believe it or not. So
that's so cool.
Yeah.
So when I was in my teaching prep, my science teacher said, you're going to be so bad at teaching math. And I was like, why? It's my best subject. That's why. And he said something to me that I'll never forget. It's 30 years ago. He said, you won't get why they don't get it. Mm-hmm. You won't get why they don't get it. And that is so true when it's something of your expertise, right? And so I've had these packs out. I've had some sales, but really, and frankly, not as many as I should have. I see these people, but I think maybe some web developers are a little hesitant to spend $500. But so then I thought, well, maybe I'll do a little pack for them for their websites. and it's just a small amount, just 100, and they can see what they're getting. Because when people see the process and they see how instantly they're on your website as blog posts, as draft blog posts, so that you can schedule them whenever you want, and that the words are all there, they're like, this is amazing. Like Todd Jones was like, this is amazing. He was my first customer. He's like, this is so cool. It took seconds. I'm like, right. It's amazing. So like when that teacher said that to me, Rob, you won't get why they get it. It's made me very stubborn in figuring out how to communicate with people. So when I was student teaching, 2nd grade, I had the remedial section for telling time, right? And with the hands, like actual telling time, not digital, using a clock.
Yeah.
And I was so frustrated. My late husband was so mad at me for devoting so much time after hours to try to solve this puzzle, right? But then I figured it out. We became the clock, Rob.
Yep, it's true.
There were 12 students in a circle. They all had a sign with the number 1 through 12. There were 2 students in the center. One had a long cardboard tube, and another one had a short cardboard tube. And then they would switch it around. And then when the short one was pointed at someone who had 2, that person said 2. And then when it was pointed at the 12, that person said o'clock.
Yep.
Right. So we literally became that clock. So I was like, okay, we have to figure out how the people who benefit from this product can use it and see the benefits of it. And that's why I created the mini packs for web dev.
Yep.
So the first one that's available right now is SEO. And sometime this month in September is going to be the e-commerce pack. So they're specifically written to the small business owner, as if I were you, as if you hired me to write these 750-word articles at $3.25 a pop.
So I have to ask you the question, because these conversations all end up, especially with writing around AI. And I think you know where I'm going with this.
I do know where you're going.
So why should I buy a Launch with Words Web Dev Pack instead of prompting AI, whether it's Chat GPT or some other service, to do the work for me? Give me a good reason.
Because you haven't done it.
Okay, that's fair.
So a lot of people are saying, oh, Chat GPT. And I'll check in with my customers who have done that. I'm like, how's Chat working out? And they're like, it's not even working. I can't. I still have to edit it. I still have to do all this stuff. I still have to come up with the right questions.
Yeah.
Okay. I have a friend who was building a website and got her friend of another peer who has his own Chat GPT to get 40 articles for this certain industry. And I said, well, did you publish them? No, they still have to be edited and sorted and fact checked. And you still have to put outbound links in them. The Chat GPT and AI promises something easy, but it buries you in volume, kind of like when you see one of those lawyer shows and they're up against this giant corporation. They go, we need this discovery. And they're like, boom, like the whole conference room is full of paper, right? And that's what's happened. It's like, because I'll ask my customers, oh yeah, it didn't really work out like I thought. Whereas Launch with Words, you buy it, you install the Launch with Words plugin, you buy the pack, you download the JSON file, you install and activate the plugin, you import the JSON file. Yeah. And then all you have to do is assign an author and a category for those blog posts. Then you import them. They're there like that. They're in your blog post drafts. Then you schedule them, move on with your life.
So let's ask the next question. Duplicate content. And you know where I'm going with this one. Yeah, you're shaking your head at me already.
I'm so exhausted about this. go ahead and ask your question. Then you're going to get the real.
So if I buy the pack and James buys the pack and Todd buys the pack, we're all getting the same blog post. What does Google do with the duplicate content issue?
There is no penalty for duplicate content, and there never has been.
Thank you.
Otherwise, there would be a problem with the AP Newswire, Reuters Newswire, BBC, NBC, CNN, CBS. Like, that's all syndicated content. What do you think syndicated content is? It's duplicate content. It's like somebody took a class at a WordCamp 10 years ago on SEO and said duplicate content's bad. And then everybody flipped out. You're going to build a jewelry website with 1,000 products with 25 variables each. You're going to have duplicate content because this ring is a 14-karat gold ring made out of whatever, and it has a London blue topaz in a princess setting. So no matter what size that is, or what you think about products. Think about like a pair of jeans, a 501 Levi's. A 501 Levi's. Go Google 501 Levi's. They're available at Kohl's, JCPenney's, Dillard's, Amazon, probably that Chinese site everybody's buying crap from.
Temu.
And Temu and whatnot, wherever. It's the same description because it's the same damn product. So to me, I think that they're like, oh, what about duplicate content? And I'm like, you're missing the point. You know what the problem is, Rob?
What?
The only thing worse than this so-called duplicate content issue is the problem they really have, which is no content.
Yeah, that's a bigger problem.
You want to launch a website for a plumber and it has no blog posts, or worse yet, the blog posts the company owner wrote. Yeah. They're not, like I look at the posts I wrote for Riggins Construction 20 years ago, and they're like, damn, who let you write on this? Because we grow and evolve as writers, right? And you're doing this thing, So like I write content to be pre-sales content. It should help people make the decision to fall, and so like, what's the worst that could happen? You get 12 blog posts for $500.
Yeah.
That's like less than $100 each, and you're worried about duplicate content. And then you should be charging your client for that. You should be charging them at least $1,200 to $2,000. To me, I built this tool out of my love for WordPress developers to help them build in more profit into their projects so that they could have money to buy health insurance, so that they could have money to go to Disneyland with their kids, so that they could have a more successful, reliable income stream, because then they have the power to turning this website build into a year-long contract.
Yeah. And part of the problem with people in the WordPress space is they all want to make money, but then they A, undercharge, or B, they won't pay for tools themselves. So it's kind of an oxymoron. You want to make money, and you want people to buy your stuff, but you won't buy any other stuff to help make your job easier. It's something I've never figured out.
And then you have the tool hoarders.
Yes.
So they'll buy courses, they'll buy tools, they'll subscribe to the latest shiny thing.
Yeah.
And it's called productive procrastination.
Yep.
It's this fear of success. Well, what if I did buy these and put them on my website and then I started getting business? Now what? You're welcome.
You'd actually be proud of me. I haven't bought one tool off that AppSumo site this year at all.
Yeah, what the heck? I mean, look at how much money you guys dump into stupid garbage tools that you end up not even using.
I don't buy them. I'm very streamlined in what I do. If I'm going to buy something, I better be using it. And that's just the way it is. In terms of Launcher's Words and the web dev packs you're working on, what's the total setup time? Like if somebody says, this is going to take me all day, it's probably not. What would you say the average setup time is?
10 minutes?
Maybe 10? Okay.
I mean, how long does it take to install a plugin, activate it?
30 seconds.
Well, you got to search for it, right? You got to say launch with words.
Yeah.
Install, activate.
Yeah.
and then you go to my site and you buy the thing. So you got to make sure you have your credit card.
But it's not a 10-hour process is what the
no.
point is.
And then, so once they're installed, once everything's installed, 10 minutes max, then all you do, you have a choice. So like with the mini packs, there's 3 blog posts. You can publish them all at once. You can backdate them. You can schedule them. It's up to you. Like, so you can tweak them too. And that's the thing, is they're imported as drafts, unlike Hello World, which is imported as a live site. You want to talk about duplicate content, just go search that. Every single website, there's like millions of websites with the Hello World blog post live because nobody deleted it. So like, but the thing is, it's like you can localize the copy, add in links to your other pages. So you could spend more time on it or less time. You can write meta descriptions, put a featured image. You could just publish them, just go click, 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 publish. It's up to you. But the actual install and import is 10 minutes at the most.
Yeah, one of the things I think that always sways people, it's why I asked the question, is they say, if I put a new tool in, I'm going to go down a 2-hour rabbit hole, and they usually don't. I mean, even security plugins, which can be very complex, the average security plugin is 15 or 20 minutes by the time you configure it. It's that was the point I was trying to make, is it's not a big rabbit.
You can go down a rabbit hole with tweaking. If you wanted to localize, like for example, if you bought one, right, you might want to do a find and replace for optimize, analyze, color, and those words to do the Canadian spelling. But so you can localize you can in the call to action paragraph, you can change it to Toronto's, whatever, from the center of the earth, and everything that you say was studying digital marketing.
Yeah.
You could, because it's not syndicated. So I used to work in franchise development, and they would big franchises, like Win Home Inspection, Sports Clips, restoration companies, they pay for the franchise or pays for this content, but it goes on the local websites, but the local business owner can't change the content because it's syndicated. They can't put in Toronto, Ottawa, Edmonton. They can't change.
The good example of that is the real estate business. I mean, you walk into a real estate office, and the real estate business, we were sharing, my mom's been in the business for years. My aunt, before she passed away in Michigan, ran one of the most successful brokerages. The real estate business isn't set up to benefit the agent. It's set up to benefit the broker. And like, the young generation's not buying that business the way it used to be, because if you walk into an office, why should I choose Bridget over Anne? Like, think about it, right?
Yeah.
And that's part of the problem with the way they do syndicated content, is there's no way to modify that content. So one of my favorite books out there, I've probably talked to you about over the years, is a book called The Inside Advantage by Robert Bloom. And what it talks about is how to make your business different. And these certain businesses, if you can't change your syndicated content, it doesn't make you any different than your competitor.
Right. And I have a client where he's a real estate. I don't do his blog anymore, but that's what happened. And so what we did was we transcribed his YouTube videos to add content in with the syndicated content. And I did the same thing when I worked at Trip Designs, because they bought a website that was made by a company that has syndicated content. And it was funny because it was really frustrating, actually, because it was cruise heavy, and Trip Designs wasn't wanting to sell cruises. That wasn't what they wanted to make money on. That's not what they like. Melissa doesn't even like cruises. She doesn't think they're a good idea. She was all about like custom trips to Europe. Like, she's really good at creating custom trips to Europe. So instead, we're getting all this content on our website that products we don't even want to sell.
Yeah, it's true.
Right? So the other thing, Rob, about the Launch with Words content packs is the other aspect of content is what is it used for? Aside from being on the website, this gives you words to use for email marketing,
Yes.
Twitter posts,
Yes.
LinkedIn posts,
Yes.
Instagram posts, Facebook posts, because you want people to come to your website. But a lot of times small business owners will say to me, what do I write for social media? I'm like, I'm going to take it from your website. Just take words from your website. That was the staff meeting everybody argued about, right? So, I'm constantly saying that to people. Well, get it from your website. Oh, I never thought of that.
Yeah.
You never thought of that? You never thought that your pre-sales library and your messaging on your website should be your source of truth for all marketing efforts? No, because they just started an Instagram account and they think they know what they're doing. And then their business shuts down 3 months later because nobody knows their business hours because they don't have a website.
And then they end up in a situation like last November where they put all their e-commerce on Instagram, and then Instagram and Facebook go down for 24 hours, and they say, I have a client who refused to do an e-com site. He now has an e-com site after that. He lost in that one day shutdown $32,000 US, he figured.
Yep.
$32,000.
Hey, the same thing happens with now Giving Tuesday. I don't know when this podcast comes out, but Giving Tuesday is the biggest online fundraising day for nonprofits. It's a worldwide event. And last year, $1 billion alone was given online, donated online on websites in that 24-hour period. Now, classy.org, and there's another one, have gone down. And when the nonprofits don't have their own website with a giving platform like GiveWP, which is still the best, or even a stupid PayPal button, but something on your own website, and they're using these other donation platforms, if that whole platform goes down, you lose money. So much money, because those big platforms are fine like right now, but now people are giving money. How many hits to the server is that? You can't even handle it, right? You're not a bank. All of a sudden you have to be a bank and process 1,000 transactions a second. I don't think so. You're going to lose tons of money by not owning your content. Like this is the ultimate goal, is getting people to have and use their own websites.
Yeah, I agree with you. Besides the new web development packs you're working on, what other packs do you have with Launch with Words? Do you want to talk about some of those?
Well, currently I have plumbing.
Yes.
General contractor, commercial contractor, roofing, which is my big bestseller. I spent 20 years writing about roofing, and I worked with roofermarketers.com and developed their templated content that they put on every site, which is how I got this idea. They're a 7-figure agency, like I've mentioned in that book, and Chamber of Commerce and residential care homes.
Maybe you need to jump into real estate eventually too.
Oh yeah. I've had requests for things that are more regulated, and that gets kind of tricky, but yeah, I've thought about that. That's on my list. I just want to do a few mini packs for web developers, and then I'll see. I really want to write something that somebody will use, right?
I agree.
But I'm also thinking about doing a window contractor, because I have some sources of people, for expertise. I do a lot of research. I use People Also Ask in Google a lot. And the real trick with Launch with Words is referring to a source that isn't a potential competitor.
Yeah.
Right? AI is not going to do that.
That is true.
But again, like you said, well, why would they do that instead of AI? I'm like, well, you're not using AI. Shares have gone down for AI. Hits to to OpenAI, to ChatGPT and all that have gone down. Their web traffic has gone down. SparkToro just did a whole article about this. People have lost, oh yeah, it was a real cool fad, but like it's not actually happening. People aren't actually using it to any big degree. They're using it for school, unsurprisingly, to cheat on their essays.
Oh, there was a big article about that on CTV News this morning, and the impact to students using AI in school was because I don't know if you know, but in Canada, the kids go back to school the day after Labor Day, not before.
Yeah.
So this is back to school week.
You heard about the MSNBC putting 10 things to do while in Ottawa, and going to the food bank was one of them.
Yes, I saw
that. You have to edit this crap. You can't just accept that. Of course it went down, but I saw that in the Women in Marketing group on Facebook, and I was like, you guys are so stupid.
You got to be kidding. No, I agree. Besides the Lunch with Words pack, I'm going to do a segue. You're in the middle of updating some books, are you not? From what I hear, you're updating your nonprofits book. Just came out, correct?
Yep.
Updated.
Yeah, sorry. So Warren and I wrote 3 books in 2021. Yep. The only online marketing book you need for series, nonprofits, your small business, and schools. Schools is going to happen sometime in September, probably. I don't know. We just got kind of bombasted with work, but it's a small update because that one's, as you write, you learn. But really proud of the nonprofit one. Really, really proud of the small business one. The small business one of the things we added to the series is an 8-day marketing kickoff plan where I literally have instructions for you on how to spend an hour in 8 days to kick off your marketing with actual tasks. We have a lot of action because Warren and I are teachers.
Yes,
we have actual things for you to do. It's meant to be it's not really meant for you to read. It's a reference book, but you should read it if you're a small business owner and you are DIYing. The giving to the nonprofit book has a whole chapter on Giving Tuesday, best practices with donation forms. And in Giving Tuesday, there is a link to a Google Doc that I created called 40 Days to Giving Tuesday, which actually Giving Tuesday itself retweeted, and it was really pretty cool. That was a cool moment for me.
And in the nonprofit book, don't you have now a new funnel chapter by Adrian Toby in that book?
Adrian Toby has he has a chapter in there about if you're not using funnel, I forgot what the exact title right now, but it basically, the concept is, if you're not using email marketing, you're leaving money on the table.
I agree with him 100%.
And, of course, he's talking about Groundhog, which integrates with WordPress, so you don't have to buy Salesforce or whatnot. But yeah, you need to be doing. You can't believe how many companies are not doing email marketing. It's amazing. It's amazing. But you can't. And one of the things I chatted with the director, the digital marketing gal from Giving Tuesday, is she's like, one of the mistakes people make nonprofits make is actually just doing Giving Tuesday and not telling the story of what you're doing and who you're helping and everything. And the book covers that. Like, you should be marketing all year long. You don't just ignore your great Aunt Bertha, and then all of a sudden when you need money, start sucking up to her. Like, that's what people do in their marketing. Like, they don't nurture relationships. Well, any kind of marketing, they don't nurture relationships. Then it's like, oh, I need work. Okay. Well, where were you retweeting me when I had something? But you sure are really easy to go and slide in my DMs and ask me to promote your thing.
Oh, I know.
You know how it is. We talked about that offline. So but that's the thing. Customers know when you're top of mind. Mm-hmm. So I really think that if web developers use this for their own websites, they'll see how easy it is, and they will understand, and they will see the results, more importantly, SEO results. And if they actually use that text in their tweets, I Rob, I don't see a lot of people tweeting about their blog posts. I mean, I guess I'm just going to call it tweeting forever. I don't care if it's called X. I'm not going to say Xing. That doesn't make it posting. Yeah. Okay. Posting is more generic anyway. It works for all, but nobody's posting stuff to their website, or they're like cross posting on Instagram with the link that doesn't work. What are you doing? And then they're like, well, I don't have any work. Well, you have to nurture that pipeline. And the top of the funnel is all social media. So, hello.
Yeah.
Put revival post at least on your website.
And about my love-hate relationship with Instagram and Facebook. So I'm not even going to get into that. Fortunately, it's not my pipeline, so I'm good. But yeah, I think people should go out if you want to DIY and get those books. I have every one on my shelf, as you know. They're a good read. They're not a hard read, I would say. They're an easy read, personally. I don't
on purpose.
I had a client of mine who I gave one of the books to, and he took it up to the cottage and read it on a weekend. While he was up north. So if he can do it, you can. I would say, and both you and Warren are pretty approachable. So if you got questions, I find them on X, formerly known as Twitter, because after you stop, and bug them, because Warren and Bridget will gladly answer your questions, and you guys are great. So, and if you want to support Bridget, go buy her Launch with Words pack. I mean, especially you designers, because most of you can't market for beans. I hate to call a spade, but these guys think still, a lot of these designers think beautiful websites are what gets it. And my argument would be a website that generates leads is more important than one that's beautiful. I'm sorry. And there's a reason why media sites like CNN and the major papers are pretty simplistic, because people want to get in it and get out quick. So think about some of that stuff. And Bridget, if they want to buy Launch with Words, buy some books, get a hold of you, how's the best way?
Launch with Words, just go to launchwithwords.com. It's the landing page for all of my premium packs. You'll see the web dev pack there. Find me on Twitter, X, Bridget M. Willard. Bridget M. Willard on Instagram. I've been doing some videos for encouraging people, business coaching, which is something I do and really enjoy. And I mean, I'm pretty easy to find on the internet. If you can't find me, you're not trying.
That's true. Or do a Google search on Bridget's name. That works too, right? As always, Bridget, thanks for your time, and thanks for joining the podcast today. Much appreciated.
Thank you very much, Rob.
You're welcome. Bye-bye. This podcast is brought to you by Stunning Digital Marketing, the digital marketing agency for all your business needs. We are also your WordPress security experts, having over 14 years of experience locking down, backing up, and protecting WordPress websites. Go to stunningdigitalmarketing.com for more info, or stunningdigitalmarketing.info for links to everywhere we can be found on the web. A very special thank you to Bridget Willard for joining me on this edition of the STM Show. Hey everybody, Rob here again. Thanks for listening to the STM Show. It's such a pleasure to have you every week. If you want more on our agency website, go to stunningdigitalmarketing.com. We are your WordPress security experts. We'd be glad to help you out. If you want to learn more about me, Rob Cairns, go to meetrobcairns.online. From there, you can find links to everything I do on the web, as well as book time with me. So feel free. If you want to make comments about this podcast or know a guest possibly suitable for the podcast, please email us at podcast@stunningdigitalmarketing.com. Or conversely, you can go to X, formerly known as Twitter, and tweet at me at Rob Cairns. This podcast is dedicated to my late father, Bruce Cairns. Dad, I miss you very much, and I love you. Please join us next week for another interesting podcast, and have a great week, everybody. Bye for now.